are going to start with a base card of basic black. And the basic black has been cut in half, normally 8.5 by 11. I've cut it at 4.25 by 11. Bring in my trimmer again. I'm going to use a scoring blade this time. I'm going to score at the halfway point, which is 5.5. Light gray blade, remember, is the score. And then I want to score an inch from that, so at 4.5. This book fold is very, very simple. So now I have 2 score lines there. I'm just going to fold it in half. That was at the 5.5. And I'm not going to score, or not going to fold right here, but this one is actually going to fold back. So this is a book fold or a book binding fold. It's like this is the binding, and it only folds open to here. So I need to decorate this now. I'm going to take a piece of the Snowflake, the red and black, I don't know, pattern on the back with the white snowflakes from that Peaceful Prince, which I love. This is my favorite sheet, I think. But also, I do really, really love the deer here and this plaid. I do love these deer to cut out as well. I mean, there really are some really great patterns in here. I love the birch, wherever the birch is. The birch trees are really nice too. Anyway, I digress. So I've cut this already at 4.5, which is this measurement right here. And I need it at 4.25 inches long. So here I am. Again, these measurements will be on my blog. That's going to fit right there perfectly. All right. Let me just line up on the edges. What I want to do is go ahead and adhere this, but I also want to make the book fold. So I'm going to adhere it and make the fold first. You need to use something that's pretty strong. I'm using tear and tape. You can also use the Stamp and Seal Plus. I don't think the seal, the regular seal, will be strong enough. So better off using either tear and tape or Stamp and Seal Plus. You could use the green glue too, but I find that might end up warping if you use too much of it. So I prefer my tear and tape or my Stamp and Seal Plus. I'm in the mode of box making for my 12 Sundays of Christmas, so I have my tear and tape handy. So let's go ahead and press that down. So now you can see I fold that back. There's my nice book fold. I can decorate the front here. I'll go ahead and get out my Stamp and Seal Plus. Nope, this is just my regular Stamp and Seal. And we'll line everything up. I don't want to press too hard until I know everything's lined up exactly right. That looks pretty good. Let me check the inside. Oh yeah, that looks great. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It already looks like a book. Now we need to decorate this a little bit. So one of the things I'm going to grab are my wonderful snowflakes. And these are iridescent snowflakes. You just punch them out. Just to add a little bit of shine and shimmer. And if you notice this center here, it is the perfect same shape, same size as our dimensionals. I'm going to put that right there. And let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put that right there too. I'm going to put a greeting over this or somewhere on it. But before I get to that, I'm going to decorate this edge. I'm going to take our black and white gingham. And let's see, I will be doing a knot. So the basic rule of thumb is when you're doing a knot, you want 3 lengths. Make sure nothing's twisted. This is out of our mini catalog as well, just like the snowflakes. It's not just for Halloween. And if I wanted to, I could take my Stampin' Blends and color the white red. And so I would have red and white. I think I like the look of the white and black. You've seen me do this knot before, but I'm going to show you again, just to remind you the best way to tie these flat knots. So they're really beautiful. Hold your ends. You're going to take your left and go over your right and under. You're going to put your finger in the middle there and hold this top piece between your thumb and your index finger knuckle. You're going to bring the bottom one over and in between that loop. So there's going to be a loop that's formed. You're going to bring that in there. Pull it tighter, and then you're going to want to pull a little bit more with the right hand than with the left hand. And then you have a beautiful knot. It's nice and flat. You just trim your ends. I don't think this end needs trimming. Now, if you want to make sure, because this could slip off, if you want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, all you need to do is take some mini glue dots. And this glue dot package, honestly, I think got wound backwards, because usually my glue dots I see here, and now I see them on the other side. I'm just going to sneak one of these glue dots right underneath there. And I can do another one as well. If you have thinner ribbon, you can kind of ball these glue dots up a little bit. There you go. That ribbon's not going to go anywhere. I think the end's a little bit long still. I need to trim it a little bit more. There we go. Now we need to add a sentiment here, and we need to add something to the inside. Okay, I have grabbed an old paper pumpkin stamp set. This was from November of 2018. The November 2021 paper pumpkin is now available to be ordered. If you're already getting the subscription, it will come automatically. But if you don't get paper pumpkin, this month's November 2021 will come with a Christmas set. So November and December, I believe, are going to be Christmassy, and you will have the stamps to keep for, as long as you want to keep them and use them. And when you need the right sentiment, you'll have it. I do love keeping these for this reason. I think paper pumpkin is a great opportunity. The paper pumpkin kit that you will be getting it's October's kit that comes in November. It will be Christmas themed, but it will make probably 12 different Christmas cards. I'm not sure the number of Christmas cards. They don't actually tell us what it looks like even, other than there's a hint on the box. It's evening evergreen shaded, and it looks like it's got evergreen trees. So there's our hint. I'm going to take this stamp that says it's the most wonderful time of year. That doesn't quite fit on that block, so let me see if I can find a larger block. I had one around here somewhere. Here we go. I'll put this right on here. And I think I am going to stamp, do I want to stamp in red or do I want to stamp in black? So I'm going to be stamping on white. I'm going to stamp in black. So I'm going to bring out my Memento Tuxedo Black, my favorite black of all. It's a nice crisp black. I'm going to get out a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Just a scrap. I know you heard me tear it, because I just had a scrap around somewhere and it's not showing up now. Let's put this away. I'm going to get out my my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And again, my favorite little dies, my Tasteful Labels. There's so many different shapes in here. I could have gone with this one, but this one right here is a good shape for this sentiment. I need my number 1 plate, my number 2 plate. I need to put my cardstock and my die on. Let's make sure that I have to turn it this way so that I can make sure it's on straight, or straight as I think I can put it on. Put over another number 2 plate. Oh, and I've got this on, hold on. I've got to move it around so that I can actually get this going through, because I'm not a lefty and I couldn't reach across the way. So we have this, and we'll just put that right over the top of this snowflake. And I want to use dimensionals on this piece as well. Remember, there is a dimensional in the middle of the snowflake, which will go right about here. So I don't need another one in the middle there. I don't want it too bulky. What's nice about this particular die, here we go, is that it puts a nice little embossing edge to it, which is very pretty, very sweet. I'm going to go ahead and get out some bling. See, we have some red rhinestones. Those would look nice on there. That would spiff up that top layer a bit, I think, right? Take a little spatula tool out here. Let's see, we'll go right here in the corner. And right here. And right here, I think. Something that looks like that. Now we need to stamp the inside of our card. Get out my paper trimmer again. Make a little room on my desk. And the inside of my card is the same measurement as right here. So this was 4 1/4 by 4 1/2. So I have the 4 1/4. I just need the 4 1/2. That almost looks square to me. Perhaps I only have, one side is bigger than the other. So, I don't actually want it the same size. I want it to be a little bit less. So I need to make it actually 4 1/4 times 4. So one of these is already 4 1/4. So I'll make the other one 4. So it's just going to be a little bit smaller. It gives that edge all the way around. Go ahead and put that on. Ooh, I should have stamped first, shouldn't I? Because what if my stamping goes wrong? That would just be a bummer. let's see what we have in this stamp set. By the way, did you notice that I have this stamped image here? When I get a paper pumpkin set, before I do anything with it, or ideally before I do anything with it, I peel off the whole back, ink up this whole sheet, put a piece of paper over it and rub the back, and it gives me the image so that I can easily read what it is, and then I write what the name of the paper pumpkin was and the year and date, or the month and date of the year. So it's the most wonderful time of the year, and inside I'm going to write, here's to a Christmas filled with love, laughter, and all you wish for. I think this one's going to go in real red. Here's to, that's this one right here. There we go. And I want a little bit more decoration. I'm going to take a piece of this scrap paper here. Let's see if I've got one that's the right measurement. I don't. I'm just going to trim down a little bit of this. Maybe say 1/2 inch. And I want it to be 4 1/4. So now I have this little piece that I can just line the bottom. Just adds a little bit of special to the inside. I'm even going to leave this white little border here. There we go. Here's a simple little Christmas card, just a little bit different because it's got this bookbinder edge to it. So check out the measurements and the directions. Full written directions are on my blog at stamperhood.com. We'll see you next Friday. One more thing before I go. This is the last Friday Night Live of Celebration, or at least Celebration Summer 2021. If there's anything that you want still from the Celebration brochure, you need to order it as soon as possible. The Bedazzling paper is gone, so you won't be able to get that. But this paper is still available, Peaceful Prints. It goes with a set that is in the mini catalog as well. And most of the other items are, at this point, at least the point of taping, available as well. So don't snooze, you might lose.